Welcome to Askwin. Today I have Patrick with me, and yes, this has to do something with today's episode. For those of you who've been around this podcast long enough, 10 years plus now, and for those of you who are new to this podcast, I have cerebral palsy. And basically, one of the downfalls of cerebral palsy is pressure sores, meaning you can get open wounds. I won't say cuts because they're open wounds on the back of your feet if you don't move. If you don't move, so pressure sores are primarily common in people that are paralyzed, and pressure sores are primarily common in people with cerebral palsy. Well, Patrick has just told me that he's invented a mattress topper that could help with pressure sores. And of course, I said to Patrick, and of course he agreed to it. I said, well, let me test it. Let me test this magical mattress topper that you're now talking about. So I'm going to let Mr. Patrick take it away and explain more about this magical mattress topper. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And we're just going to have a fun episode. And so, welcome, Patrick.
Thank you, Win. It's great to be on your podcast today. Yeah, and that's a great intro to the product. I guess to give a quick intro as to who I am, I've been around business for a number of years, and I've been inventing and innovating to try and find solutions that are good for people, that are good for everybody, essentially. And about 8 years ago, a director of nursing in a hospital, a large hospital, said to me, "Listen, we're buying these mattress products like for a few thousand per unit, and they take maintenance, and there's pumps, there's motors, they're a bit uncomfortable for patients. Is there anything you can develop that would kind of give us an easier solution, would provide a comfortable night's sleep, would help prevent pressure sores, and if you can, just make it kind of like infection control friendly." So no challenges there. And I went for a few months, I thought about this, and I said, I really need to do something about this. And the kind of eureka moment came when I put together a couple of bits and pieces of technologies that I had worked with previously in different parts of different markets. So what I did was I took a memory foam, or a viscoelastic foam as is technically known, but memory foam is commonly known at this stage. And I sealed the layer of memory foam. So it's like a 2.5 inch layer of memory foam. And when I sealed it with an outer skin, I captured the air in the foam. So that provides a degree of flotation, a degree of kind of buoyancy. And by doing so, I reduce pressure. Now, I had worked previously with a company that were making wheelchair cushions for pressure sore prevention. So I knew the space, I knew what we needed to do and what we needed to achieve from a technical and clinical perspective. So I had that advantage. But for a 2.5 inch layer, it goes on top of an existing hospital bed, and it's been selling for the last 8 years and doing a great job for the patients. And the staff love it as well because it's so easy to use, it's easy to transport, it's easy to clean, it's easy to disinfect. And I'll come on to that in a little while about the infection control aspect, because I've kind of put that feature out there for the mainstream, for everybody from here as well. But back to the pressure sore function. So what we do is we kind of provide this flotation surface. It's really comfortable, really stable, and it's only like 2.5 inches thick. So the risk of, let's say, movement or falling from the edge of the bed is greatly minimized. And it's a really
So, you guys, I think what Patrick was trying to say is and I'll wait for Patrick to go back in, but this is a really unique situation that the paralyzed are in, and people with cerebral palsy come into, because pressure sores are the worst. And so I think what happens is that you get pressure sores and then you have to bandage them up. And I think the more and more technology we have out there for pressure sores, it happens to help. And so,
Yeah, absolutely.
Patrick,
And yeah,
take
sorry,
it
Gwen, go
away.
ahead.
Take it away.
Okay, so yeah, and really what I wanted to do was provide that sleep surface that was comfortable, that was preventing pressure, that was easy to use, easy to clean, and it really worked very, very well. People loved it, and I said that was in the hospital and healthcare segment. What people were doing as well is they were coming out of hospital and they were taking our product home with them, or they were ordering a product at home because they were saying, I've slept on this for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and now I want it at home for my home care program. So it was a real kind of, endorsement, and kind of, I was delighted with that feedback. Then when, so that's constant. Then when we looked at the whole COVID-19 and coronavirus situation, we had done tests at the beginning before we launched the product to ensure that our product was going to be infection control friendly. So in other words, bacteria, viruses, bugs, and so on could not get through the outer layer and get into the foam. Because foam is like a reservoir, so it holds that material. So what we wanted to do was block that, or act as a barrier to get that getting into the core. And we tested it in the lab, and this thing was 100%, kind of barrier proof. So it was 100% barrier for these things. So we said, okay, why don't we take this technology, which is pressure sore prevention, and make it available for that function, number one. Number two, to enhance comfort. Number three, to provide a cleanable, washable surface for homes, for people at home, for people in hotels, etc., etc. So every sleep surface. And here's the thing, like when I looked at this, I said, we sleep on a mattress, probably the largest portion of a 24-hour period, which is on average 6.5 hours. And it's probably maybe the only surface in the house at this stage that we can't clean thoroughly. You can't get into the interior core of a standard mattress.
Yeah. No, you can't.
You can't. So like this thing is absorbing, and we're sleeping on it for 6.5, 7, 8 hours a night, and you can't clean it. It just makes no sense. So I said, hey, why don't we just give this topper that goes on top of an existing mattress? It's providing comfort, it's providing, and it's providing hygienic sleep surface function. And if you want, with this product, we call it Defender, the Defender mattress topper. And because it's defending against pressure sores, it's defending against bacteria, bugs, viruses, and so on. In a standard situation with the current product, and I sleep on these products myself before anyone else gets to see this product, I test it, and I'm my own worst critic. So I look at it and say, if I don't like it, it ain't going through the gate. It's not getting out there.
Yeah.
But in reality, what you can do now is you can take off the outer cover, which is like a plush, comfortable, slightly quilted cover. You can put that in your washing machine and just launder it as normal. And then on the inside, you've got the sleep surface, which you can take an antibacterial wipe and just wipe it down, literally 1 minute, and it's clean. Now, if you have somebody that suffers from asthma, allergy, all of these type of ailments as well, this is the ideal product because it's fully sealed and it can be disinfected in minutes, apart from going through the standard wash, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? It's a really user-friendly product, and it provides strong, beneficial functions for a wide audience. So I'm really excited about it. The response is great.
I was going to say, it's so funny you mentioned asthma, because my mom grew up with asthma. My grandfather died of asthma. I'm on the quest to be diagnosed with asthma, which would make me a double disability diagnosis. Yeah. And so anything that would help me out with my new diagnosis would be
Hmm.
great because
Hmm.
I'm slowly but surely looking into asthma stuff. And so anything that would help me out, and I mean this for anyone listening too, anything that would help me out with my new asthma diagnosis, because I'm 99% sure I have asthma. And they, the doctors diagnosed me as lack of movement cough. And that's
Hmm.
how they diagnosed me. And I'm like, okay, I have weakened lungs, plus I have the family history of asthma. This
Hmm.
is not a lack of movement cough. This is a deep, bulky, wheezy chest cough that will
Hmm.
not go away. And I'm finally fed up enough to go see a pulmonologist.
Okay. Okay. And one of the funny things, one of the things about the sleep surface as well is we've all heard over the years, and I've heard it many, many times about bed bugs. And bed bugs are one of the triggers for, let's say, asthma attacks. I understand, I don't know how mild or how severe that can be, but that's my reading, that's my information. And I said, okay, if we can prevent bed bugs getting into the interior foam or the interior sleep surface, then we've given it another advantage to this product. I've been developing products for almost 20 years. And I really believe that this is the first time that I've had a product that I've invented that has ticked so many boxes in one pretty straightforward piece of let's say, sleep surface, in an easy to transport, easy to use, easy to kind of maintain uh, piece of equipment or piece of furniture essentially. And what I'd like to do from here, and my current plan is, for the last 2-3 months, I've been traveling around to various parts of the world. It's not easy to do in these COVID times because travel is very restricted. But I also help the healthcare industry as much as I can with these infection control products, because everything we can do to help in the fight against these viruses is a necessity. And that's the way I see it. So I've been in like 8-9 countries introducing this product technology for healthcare, for hospitals, for home care, but also now for every other sleep surface out there. And that can be, hotels, resorts, hospitality, because that, let's say, group are looking for every single way possible to provide a greater degree of care for their guests. So, like, as I said, I really, really am excited about this product, as you probably gather. Um, and the great thing about it is this is proven. We've had it, it's been in use for 8 years in probably the most testing environment, which is like hospital use. So it gets tested really, really strongly every day, and the patients love it, and the staff in the hospital, the cleaning staff, the nursing staff like it as a product. So I'm really hopeful that we can make this available to everybody. And as I said at the very beginning, I love making products and designing products that are good for people.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. How you're helping, and you're so positive about it. I love it how you're helping the COVID population slash the disabled population slash every population in between. I mean,
Mhm.
I was thinking about it the other day. I truly was. I said, well, when I get diagnosed with asthma, what am I going do when it comes to a normal mattress? And of course, I put that out to the universe in my mind's eye. I'm going to say, I, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to have to spend hours and hours of research. No,
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 no, absolutely not. You
no.
found a solution.
Next thing I know, I find a solution for a
Yeah, well,
podcast.
there's the universe
Um,
looking after you.
the universe. No, because we've talked about for several years now getting me a memory foam mattress, and I have a bad back too. And so it's like, okay, now that I and now once I get diagnosed with asthma, what am I going to do about this mattress situation? Well, my problems have been solved because I now know that you are out there and you are going to help not only help me out, but help the rest of the world out because of the pandemic situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like I'm so I feel so privileged and lucky to be able to bring that product out there, because these viruses are not easy to beat, as we've all seen. You know, and
No,
they cause serious loss and pain for people because yeah. And so everything that we can do, and when I design and develop and invent these things, I kind of look at the use environment and I look around and I say, okay, where are the weaknesses here? Where are the gaps? You know, is there a product needed for this space, for that space? And that kind of curiosity drives my, I guess, innovation or invention train. But when I looked at this one, I said, everybody needs to sleep. Everybody needs healthy sleep. It's well known across the entire industry and across the world, essentially, that if you don't sleep well, you don't function well.
yeah, no, I've
Yeah,
done
that's it.
that. I've done that for you. I've battled a bad back, battled a bad mattress. I finally gave up. I I said, well, I'm getting a new bed when I get to my new house, which is
Mhm.
coming slowly but surely. The new house is coming slowly but surely. But I'm like, I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours searching for a mattress online, and I'm like, ugh, ugh. What they do, I make that my project. Of course,
Mhm.
all the other projects. Anyway, you appear on my podcast, and you saved me a hour and a half of. I'm not kidding, Patrick, when I say this. You saved me an hour and a half of searching memory foam top mattresses, and
Mhm.
just you just saved me like an hour and a half because I'm like, okay, now that I am getting diagnosed with asthma, that causes a whole other host of problems because I need a specialized mattress, and so
Mhm.
you're going to help me out. But Patrick, where can people find you, and where can people get a hold of you if they choose to do so?
So my website is iconinfectioncontrol.com. That's ICON infectioncontrol.com. My details are on there. There's an intro about who I am, and at the base of that, there's my contact details. And I'd be happy to help out. I'd be happy to answer questions. At this stage, demand is really heavy, so be patient with my replies. But I will reply to you if I hear from you.
Be patient,
Um,
you guys. Be
yeah,
patient
yeah.
because Patrick is trying to help all of us during the pandemic. So be patient.
But I definitely will help out in any way that I can. I really think, as I've said a couple of times, this product is I design products to be really straightforward, but very functionally superior. That they do a good job for a lot of people, and I think this is the one that will do exactly that.
Oh,
It
yeah.
comes, by the way, in terms of portability. When just to let you know as well, I designed it so that I can put a little valve at the end. So it's like you roll up a piece of foam and you push the air out, and then you close the valve, so it locks like in a carry bag. So it
Yay.
comes in a really compact unit. And when you take it out of the bag, you open this valve at the corner and it auto inflates. So the foam pulls in the air, and then you close the valve again. That's your sleep surface. And here's the really
Yay.
sweet spot. If you find that the surface is a little bit too firm initially, you can open that little valve and leave some of the air out so it gets a little bit softer. So instead of you ordering, let's say, a standard mattress topper and hoping that it's going to be comfortable for you, if it's too firm, if it's too hard, you're saying, oh God, this is too hard. I can't sleep on this. I have to send it back. You have to go through all the hassle of returning that product. But with this product, you've got minor adjustability, very soft adjustability. So you're getting that feature as well. So really, honestly, again, I'm so happy to have designed this product because I think it ticks so many boxes
No.
for many groups of people out there.
Well, I'm so happy to have you on my podcast and record it because now I'm going to be using it because I I personally need it, you personally need it, and everyone personally needs it nowadays because we're going through a pandemic and it won't go away anytime soon. We're recording this on November 3rd, 2020. And my goodness, the pandemic is getting worse. It's not getting better, but
Mhm.
it's you're helping us, not making us worse. And now, do you have any questions for me as we wrap this interview up?
No, this has been a great conversation. I'm very happy to speak with you today, to have the opportunity to tell you and to tell your listeners about this product, because I really, my job for the last like 4, 5, 6 months, as I said, has been traveling the world to tell people about this technology, to try and improve, first of all, to help in the fight against this coronavirus, but secondly, to provide a long-term solution that people can have as their new sleep surface. And I would love to make this the new minimum standard for sleep surfaces across the world. So I'm really pleased to have spoken with you today. And it was a great chat. And yeah, I'll send you on that product, and I'd love to hear your feedback.
You are welcome. You are welcome. And Patrick will have all your information in the show notes. But you guys, be patient. Be patient, no pun intended, with Patrick, because he's trying to help all of us, including me. And I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode of Ask Gwen. Thanks, you guys.